All right, good day everyone. We're back with some great training for you. So today we will be covering thermometer calibration. Did you know all thermometers can lose their accuracy? When this happens, you want to make sure your thermometer is calibrated or adjusted to give you a correct reading before taking temperatures. You want to make sure that your thermometer is accurate by calibrating them regularly. You have to do it daily, okay? Now here's some good times you should be calibrating your thermometer. After you have bumped or dropped your thermometer, you want to make sure that you're recalibrated. At least check it because you want to make sure that it's giving you an accurate temperature, because bumping or dropping it can actually cause it to lose its accuracy. Another time would be after the thermometer has been exposed to extreme temperature changes. Because if that temperature is extremely high, it can affect the density of the stem, okay? So if it's too high, it can cause the stem to expand. If it's too low, it can cause the stem to shrink, okay? Which could cause an inaccurate temperature on your thermometer. Okay, and then last but not least, you always want to make sure that you are calibrating your thermometer at the beginning of your shift and before you take any food temperatures, okay? Now, the cafe supervisor should be verifying that the food handlers are using and calibrating their thermometers on a daily basis, and they have to be done properly by making sure that they're there visually observing the employees' activities during all operation hours. The cafe supervisor should also be initialing their calibration logs, okay? Now, they have to be out on the floor to do this, to actually get that vision, okay? You cannot sign off on your thermometer calibration log at your desk, all right? You gotta be on the floor monitoring your staff to ensure those thermometers are calibrated correctly and that they're reading correctly. How do you do this? You take the thermometer from them, or you carry your own that's been calibrated and test the food product as well, okay? But you wanna make sure theirs work and that they're writing the correct temperatures on their logs. So best practice for this is just to make sure that you're checking them during prepping time. It can be during cooking time. It can also be during holding time. You should be checking those temperatures, okay? Not at the end of the day. So some best practice when you are beginning to check your food temperatures, you want to make sure that you're taking your thermometer and sticking it in the thickest part of your food, especially your meat, okay? But usually when you're cooking any type of food, you want to make sure that you're checking those food temperatures at least in more than one place, okay? So you want to check it in various places because it cooks different in different spots and different areas, okay? So you want to make sure that food is actually safe and ready to be consumed by our customers, okay? And we want to make sure we just want to keep things in a safe manner, okay? Now, I want you guys to know something, okay? That a calibrated thermometer is the only accurate way to get a great temperature of your food products, okay? And to ensure that we are serving our food safe for our customers and for ourselves, right? So, let's go calibrate some thermometers. Hi, my name is Barbara Colbert. I'm here to help you with quality assurance. What better way to start but with calibrated thermometers? Now we have two thermometers in our kitchen. One is your digital thermometer. This is the one that we use most of the time here, and it is recommended by the health department. And then we have a bimetallic thermometer. Backup emergencies, okay? They still work just as good when they're calibrated correctly. So let's start with the digital thermometer. The digital thermometer do not have to be calibrated, but you actually have to check it every day, okay? And you have to do this in order to get accurate temperatures of your food products. So first thing you want to do is get your cup of water with ice, okay? Put that thermometer in. Sometimes I like to stir it a little bit because you want it to actually be able to get cold, so give it 3 to 4 minutes to do that. Cut your thermometer on. Anytime that you pick up a digital thermometer, you don't want to actually take the first temperature that you see when you open the thermometer up. You want to actually check it in the water, okay? So stick it in the water after your water is cold. Your thermometer must be in the water for at least 30 seconds, okay? Then you get your reading. Your reading should be around 32 degrees, plus or minus 2, okay? If it's that, it's pretty good. You're ready to go. Take temperatures, okay? Now, say for instance this thermometer is not reading that temperature, the correct temperature, or it's way off. make sure you check your batteries on this, okay? If you drop it too much or you feel like it's broken, give it to your manager and she can get this replaced for you, okay? That's just that easy. Now, your bimetallic thermometer works great, okay? This one has to be calibrated, okay? So if you're using this one, you want to make sure do it the same way. Stick it in the water, ice water, okay? And it has to be in there for 30 seconds. You're not allowed to touch the bottom or the sides as well as the digital. And then you check your temperature. If it's not reaching quite 32 degrees plus or minus 2, this one actually comes with a tool, okay? So on the thermometer casing. So what you can do, this has a hex nut on the bottom, okay? So you want to stick that in that tool. It fits perfectly, just like that. Look at your thermometer, make sure it's back in the water when you're calibrating. This is the calibrating part. So you want to look at the thermometer, make sure it's in the water, not touching the side of the bottom. Turn the top of the thermometer to 32. Okay? Once you hit 32 inside the water, take it out, then put it back in to make sure it gets back to 32. It's 32. Now we're ready to take accurate temperatures of our food product. Have any questions? Let any of your area managers or the quality assurance manager know.